Yo guys, what's going on? Today I'm gonna show you guys how to get better FPS on Nintendo Switch. Although the console is locked to 30 FPS, it does have a lot of hitches and lags that make it feel like it's less. But today I'm gonna show you guys what I do to get it as close to 30 as possible, the most consistent way. So the first thing you want to do is go into your Fortnite settings. Under graphics, make sure you have power saving mode off. What power saving mode does is it basically reduces the amount of power your Switch can use. So it's good if you're like in handheld mode out and you want to save battery, but when you're docked, it really just limits the power of your Switch and will make the game run much worse. Next thing we're gonna do is go over to the volume thing. So visualize sound effects. If you have that off, you will get more consistent FPS. But it is a trade-off because it does give you such a big advantage. So it's up to you. If you want the more consistent FPS, you can turn it off, but I think it's better to keep it on. And that brings me to settings, or the language and region. Make sure you're on the one that gives you the lowest ping. Don't put it on auto. It's better to have it on whatever one is the lowest number. And then in UI settings, the more you have going on your screen, the less consistent your FPS is going to be. So I recommend just copying my settings. These are what I found works best, and it's only going to show the most important things on the screen. Alright, so that's all we have to do here in the in-game settings. Let's go to locker. So as you can see, the skin I'm using right now, Blaze, it has a bunch of like fiery effects on it, especially on the boots. Those extra effects are gonna cause your FPS to be less consistent. So I found better frame rates when I use skins without any effects. Like take this for example. Very plain skin, no special effects going on. That's what you want because your game doesn't have to render anything else. I also don't usually wear back bling, so that helps. Nor do I use contrails. And then again for the pickaxe, probably best to pick something without a bunch of special effects on it. And then wraps are also really important. I recommend not using a wrap at all. Especially don't use the ones that are animated or have any sort of effects on that. That's gonna give you the worst frames. I've tried using like plain wraps before, but it's definitely better just to go without a wrap. It doesn't really make the game look worse at all, so I recommend no wraps. Alright, so the most important thing that I'd say would make your FPS better is actually in the data management section. If you see here, I have two different storage units. I have just the built-in 32 gigs on my Switch, and then I have a micro SD card. If you have the original base Switch with only 32 gigs, it's best to buy a separate micro SD card to put Fortnite on. They're only like 10 bucks on Amazon, so it's not that much and it makes a big difference. When you try to put Fortnite on your internal 32 gigs of storage, the game itself is very close to that 32 gig limit. So if you have it using all of the storage on your Switch, it's gonna make it run worse. So you'll see my micro SD card is like 256 gigs. So the game, I've noticed the game runs way better when I have it on the micro SD card storage. So I highly recommend getting one of those. Yeah, and that's gonna be all I have for you guys. I recommend trying all these out. I promise you it'll make a big difference. So yeah.